Well, hopefully it wasn't an important one. Alright, we might as well start. Oh, they changed the time. Oh, yeah, fair enough. That will do it. That will definitely do it. You can see Sox's tail in the shot. I'm just wondering how many times she will. Well, that's her butt. All right. Okay, I'm just wondering how many times her tail's going to knock off that stuff. All right, let's jump into it today. We are going to be mostly... Oh, I haven't actually updated my... Damn it. All right, just give me 2 more seconds. Sorry, completely and utterly forgot to do this. Got to update the title. 20, we are doing Cloudflare R2. Reading the docs. And planning. Alright, cool. Went from 11 to 9:30 a.m. Yeah, fair enough. That'll do it. That'll do it. Alright, so today, one of my sort of pain points at the moment with doing so many releases is dealing with the static files. So also, it's costing me not that much real world money. We're talking probably, last time I looked at it, I think 20 cents a month, which is not much. But it's taking about half an hour for me to deploy the static files. And I know if I spend a couple of hours on it, I get that time back with automation rather quickly over the next couple of months. Now, we're using Cloudflare's R2, and I do know there is a way to sort of bulk change the files. I just don't know how. So we're going to read the docs and start planning stuff and actually doing an example. So we're probably going to essentially look at our Docker code and be like, all right, we can probably take over this GitHub action and we can do it here and so forth and so forth. So let's do that. So first off, let's go to Cloudflare R2 migration. Not CDN, R2. What I'll do is I'll zoom in. So the R2 is, just give me a couple of seconds. What I'll do, so I'll quickly log in and show the setup of my R2 bucket. There shouldn't be any credentials or anything like that on the setup. Not the setup, sorry, the layout of the files, so forth like that. So I'm just logging in. Sox is just pacing a little bit. You can see a little tiny paw. Okay, R2. And I'll probably include that much information. All right, sweet. There we go. So we've got a public accessed bucket here. The CDN is just cdn.nearbeach.org. That's pretty easy. We've currently got 272.98 megabytes of files in there, which when we think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 28, so 27, that will be 60 something. I can't calculate that in my head at the moment. Not 60. It'll be 37. Oh, what happened then? I just suddenly stopped hearing music. Alright, there we go. I don't know if that was socks. I think she sat on the play button. So essentially, why can't I do math at the moment? It'll be under 4. $34. It's about 34 megabytes each, those folders. One of those folders I've got to get rid of. So the bottom folder I've got to get rid of. Just because I did a typo when syncing it across, realized it was a typo. Yeah, just got to get rid of it. Anyway. Problem is I can't delete it here, and I really don't want to go in and having to delete every single object in here, which is just going to be a pain. Actually, I can delete just those 25. So forth like that. Do you want to serve them locally? Do you want to build them from source? So due to a bug, what I've done is I've decided to just make it so that way I just use the CDN. If you're using Docker, it'll just use the CDN. So I don't foresee a lot of people using NearBeach at the start, and then when I fix the bug, I can get people off the CDN, and then they can use those local files. For some strange reason, the static files weren't being passed through when debug was turned up to false. So yeah, it's something I will eventually fix, but at the moment the CDN works perfectly fine and it's easy and stuff like that. I still want to put things up onto the CDN. So what I want to do is I just want to automate putting things up onto the CDN, and I want to eventually clear out these old files, so forth like that. So I'll keep the 30 branch for the moment, and then yeah. So reading the documentation. Now I've got to. There might be. There used to be documentation on how to do this in bulk. So what I want is Cloudflare R2 CLI. It's AWS. That's sending me to the getting started stuff. Alright, we're just going to have to find it. So we don't want to create new buckets, objects, multi-part upload. Oh, let's click on that. R2 supports S3's API multi-part upload with some limitations. Oh, alright. So we might be able to get away with Boto 3 to upload our static files, which hopefully should be good because that should be installed in the Docker file. So we could run that with the, hopefully, Alright, multi-part upload allows you to upload a single object as a set of parts. Each part is a contiguous portion of the object's data. You can upload these object parts independently and in any order. Socks, don't step on the mouse, please. Without affecting other parts. After all parts are object uploaded, S3 assesses the situation. Multi-part upload process. Alright. Let's go back here. Limitation. Object part size must be at least 3 but no larger than 3 gigabytes. Must be at least. All right. I think I need the API. Use R2 from Workers. Workers API. Create a new application with C3. C3 create Cloudflare CLI is a command line tool designed to help you set up and deploy Workers and Pages applications as Cloudflare as fast as possible. To get started, npm create Cloudflare latest. Create the bucket. I don't need to create my own bucket, so Wrangler R2 bucket, create your bucket name. So Wrangler R2 bucket list. And hey, Sandy Lee, how are you? I hope you're going well. Welcome, welcome. Today we are essentially, so I've been uploading the static files to our CDN. The one problem is it takes about half an hour of my time. I kind of want to automate it because I know over the next couple of months I'll get that time back from that automation. And it also removes the human error. So once it's, and it'll be set and forget. So yeah, it'll be in a long line of stuff I want to automate. Oh, sorry, socks. All right, there it goes. Socks, you get front and center. That's an elephant on the ground there. She's now getting up. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. It's just reading all the documentation and stuff like that and figuring out how we want to do it. And yeah. So I'm heavily leaning on GitHub application, GitHub Actions and automating it that way. I've just got to figure out how. So yeah. And it might be something as simple as I just hijack an already existing action and add the code to the end of it. So, check that the bucket was created. Okay, so create new application, create your bucket, checking that the bucket is, bind your bucket to a worker. Okay, you'll need to bind your bucket to a worker. A binding is how your worker interacts with the external resources such as KV namespaces, durable objects, R2 buckets. Okay, cool. There you go. Sucks, I'll put you in a better lighting. There you go. Good go. A binding is a runtime variable that the worker's runtime provides to your code. You can declare a variable name in your Wrangler TOML file that will be bound to those resources at runtime and interact with them through this variable. Every binding's variable name and behavior is determined by you when you deploy the worker. Refer to the environmental variables document for more information. All right, cool. This is where I start opening up more tabs. I'm going to close this because I think I don't need it anymore. I'm going to close this. This is the TOML API host, API account, service data. All right, cool. Find your newly generated RAML and update account ID with the Cloudflare account ID. All right. Next, find your account ID by logging into Cloudflare dashboard, overview, move down to API, select, click and copy account ID, and all right, sweet. Hey Jay, how are you? I hope you're going well. So today what we're doing is we're automating, essentially sending the static files to our CDN. So at the moment, what I do is I essentially collect the static files on my local. I then move them from my local onto an S3 bucket in AWS, which is costing me about 20 cents a month. Once they're there, I go into Cloudflare and I migrate everything from that S3 bucket over. Takes about half an hour. What I want to do is I want to see if I can get this done in a GitHub Actions. So that way I'm spending less time doing this, and when I do a deployment, everything becomes automated. So yeah, we've got a few things that I want to automate. I also, hopefully today, if we get anywhere close to this, what I want to do is I want to actually edit one of the GitHub Actions. I want to edit this and hopefully put it in here. So yeah. Slowly doing things. Just got to read the docs. Oh, sorry. It's fun you newly. Yep. All right. It's cool. So essentially, we've got name, your worker name. All right. Cool. Don't eat the camera. What are you doing? There you go. Lights off, sweetie. There you go. All right. So she's headbutting the camera. All right. To bind your R2 buckets. Okay. Binding my bucket, valid JavaScript variable name, and bucket name. Okay. Cool. In this sort of case, GitHub Actions, Cloudflare, R2 bucket. Cloudflare workers continuous deployment with GitHub Actions. Hopefully might be something useful. And hey, Aiden, how are you? Socks is going to be very happy. All right, Socks, in your bed. All right, in your bed, sweetie. No. All right, I'm gonna. All right, no, in your bed. Hop in your bed. No, don't come running to the camera. Hop in your bed. Come on. There I go. Sit. Don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. How have you been, Aiden? And here we go, Max. Did you just scoff them down? Just because I put the box down doesn't mean you get to go over to the box. Whoa. Calm down, sweetie. She's like, no. I'm now in the corner. Yeah, she was really ready today. She hasn't had many treats today. In fact, I didn't give her any today. Be good. Working on my live stream announcement bot, which is almost there. Nice. Yeah, I'm just trying to automate things. So the CDN is working really, really well. So we're using Cloudflare R2. The only problem at the moment is getting the static files to it. So because I've said this a couple of times already, I'm going to give you the abridged version. I've got to send the files to a AWS S3 account and migrate them across. I want to automate this. I want to see if GitHub Actions can do this. So I'm reading up both the API sort of stuff with the workers, and I'm just reading random sort of documentation. Articles. So yeah. So that is a very good question. I have over 100 files. So whenever I drag and drop into here, it throws up an error. So we can actually do that right now. Give me a couple of seconds. So if I create a directory, I can't create a directory, damn it. Socks, you stop licking my mouse. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to rename this folder to 030 1.4. I know we're not there yet. If I drag this in, it'll come up with, you can only do 100 files. Use Wrangler, CLI, or API. Wrangler CLI. Oh, that's probably what I'm also looking for. I thought R2 had an importer tool. Yes, that's probably the Wrangler thing, which I couldn't find before. We can only see socks, by the way. Yeah, I know. Oh, yes, sorry. My bad. Alright. Socks is taking over. Yeah, she's just taking over the stream. So yes, I'm using Cloudflare. I'm tired. I had a moment. So we're using Cloudflare, and there are limitations to how we'll do things. So what I want to do is automate it, and those automations get around those limitations. So the regular CLI is this. To install Wrangler, make sure you have Node.js npm installed, preferably using a Node version like Volta or NVM. All right. Using a version manager to help. Okay, install global. All right, that's just updating and stuff like that. The API. So yeah, what we want to do is, I'm hoping, so this builds the image. All right. And this is from here. I'm hoping I can, do something around here where I can get it to do the static files or something. I'm not sure. Oh no, this runs. It'll probably have to be in here. So after it's built everything, it will then deploy the static files. All right, Socks has just run away. She's like, I've got my treats. So long. All right, there we go. So yeah, I've got to figure out where to put it, but first I've also got to figure out how it works. And I think figuring out how it works will be best done first, because that will actually change where I put it. So Cloudflare workers with continuous deployment and GitHub Actions. So in a previous post, I went through using Cloudflare's Wrangler tools to set up Cloudflare workers using a config code approach. Config code approach. This approach needs to be run from a local machine. While this allows changes to be tracked in a version control, it leaves room for what's running and what's in version control to be out of sync. A better solution is to have changes pushed into the main branch, automatically deployed into a production environment. Kind of what I want. So essentially what I want is when I do a release, it will also release that releases static files to an appropriate release folder on the CDN. Don't want to know how many releases I had then. It's very releasing. This post will go through taking the example from the previous post and setting it up as a deploy to Cloudflare on each push to the main branch. All right, so let's have a look here. Now, another thing which I do is I do push the whenever I do a release, I make sure I do the static files in prod and stuff like that. But they're in the static folder, yep. This file will include the following. So we've got name on push, jobs, deploy, Ubuntu latest, deploy, action, users, actions, checkout, name published, Cloudflare Wrangler Actions 1.0. All right, so we need a secret token. That's fine. That's not going to be hard. The secrets, CFI API token subs is a secret value that needs to be provided in the GitHub API. Yep, cool. We know where that is. To create the token, I need to log into Cloudflare, open the workers tab, and then select manage workers. And then we manage workers, and then I tend to put in some... Oh no, I don't think I've done workers. I've done credentials, API tokens. Select API tokens, create a new API token. Yep. Start with the Cloudflare workers template. So edit Cloudflare workers. I will probably see if there's one for R2. Give the token give the token a meaningful name. Yeah, we'll name it appropriately. Limit the resources the token has to my account and the salad simulator zone. All right. Okay, include, yep. Continue to the summary. Okay, yep. So yeah, we'll create something that's only limited to that static file thing. Now Cloudflare will display the API token. Once this page is closed, the token is gone. So I need, yep. To confirm the token is running, yep. Over in GitHub, I've opened the settings tab and the secret selection. Oh yeah, and we just key that in, CF token, all that kind of stuff, yep. And then you run. Okay. Now the thing is, so that's using Wrangler. So we want to read these documents. So the API. Okay. Okay, so we got const unstable dev, require Wrangler worker. Okay, let's go commands. So R2. Okay, interact with buckets in R2 store. Alright, I'm going to be back in 1 minute. Sorry, I just need some water. Alright, sorry about that. So, we know about create list and all that. R2 object. R2 object get object path. Alright, Angular R2 put. So let's open up a terminal. I'm just gonna zoom that over here. Let's play around with some stuff. Let's use a fun color terminal. a second. I'm just going to duplicate that. I'm just going to bring that over here. It's going to... That'll be fun like that. All right. Let's CD into our site. Let's make directory. And what we want to do is, what do we want to call it? We want to call it Wrangler test. Okay. npm init. Package name Wrangler test version, description, and test command. Yep. Yes. Okay, clear. So we want to install it in here. Okay, that shouldn't take too long to install. I mean, I can install it globally too, if need be. I want to see if I can do this locally too. And what we want to do, commands, so we want to upload static files just as a test. So I want to see R2 object command allows you to manage application data in the Cloudflare network to be accessible from workers in the R2 app. Now I don't have any workers at the moment, so I'm probably going to have to set them up, but that's not a problem. This is just taking a little while. So whilst that's happening, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go on the secret screen to do this. I'll put this over here just so I'm following instructions at the same time. So I want to go to workers. Don't see my workers. Security center, nope. Workers and pages. So workers, create worker. All right, hello world. No, I don't want to call it that. I want to call it near beach. Near beach automation worker. What's this actually? Get started with workers and pages. I'm probably on the wrong thing. Sorry, I'm literally trying to find it. I don't know if it's at workers and pages. Create a common worker example. Alright. I will just show, there you go. I've just gone back to the documentation. All right. Describe worker, let worker before all async. Okay. Let's have a look at the API sort of stuff. API, workers API. Let's go to the top. Use R2 from workers. Use R2 multipart API from workers. Workers API reference. All right. Create a new application with C3. Okay, cool. Create Cloudflare CLI is a command line tool designed to help you create and deploy. It's getting started, npm. Npm create. Create your bucket. Wrangler R2. All right, that's installed. I think that's way too zoomed in. Don't think I'm logged in. Initialize a basic worker, including a Wrangler toml. Open a Wrangler docs in your browser. Generate new worker project. I just want to update stuff. Okay. Worker R2. Okay, worker R2, a template for interfacing with R2 buckets from within Cloudflare workers. Yeah, this is what we want. Please refer use from RT documentation when using this template. To create my project directory, use this template to run npm install Cloudflare in the Cloudflare my project worker R2. Okay. Let's go back over here. Let's go ls. Let's remove package. All right, let's set this up. Let's play around with it. Yes. What type of application I want to... All right. That's doing its thing, getting started. npx Wrangler login, make sure you're logged in. All right, cool, so that's how we log in. npm Wrangler R2 bucket create. We won't be creating. And configure your toml as instructed. I'm confused at what this wants me to do. All right. Wrangler bucket list. In the projects directory and update account ID with to bind your R2 to your worker, add the following to your I'm going to have to watch some YouTube videos on this. Add the following to your Wrangler toml file. Update the binding property to valid JavaScript variable identifier and bucket name to the your bucket name used to create. Yep. All right. access your R2 bucket from your worker. And R2 bucket is able to read, list, write, and delete objects. You can see an example of all operations below using the module worker syntax. Alright, I am confused. I'll tell you what, let's just research Django Cloudflare static files. I think my computer's a bit slow at the moment. Do apologize. So, architecture description. I have a Django app hosted on the Azure Web Service containing and proxy through Cloudflare's DNS. The app works great. I'm using white noise. I'm able to serve static files stored in the Azure App Service storage container. This seems kind of mental why you need to write code to spin up a worker to upload some files. Yeah, I'm confused. There's got to be a better method. I don't want to sort of do it that way because I've already got a GitHub action that's already spinning up the Docker sort of thing and running all that kind of stuff. I don't want to layer it so far down. If I had an API where I could be like, okay, cool, like Boto or something like that, and just be like, all right, use this, handle it for me. I would like to try to use Cloudflare's R2 storage as it has unlimited bandwidth and allows upload questions. How can static files be served from? All right, I need it to. Yeah. Alright, I want to integrate my Django project with Cloudflare CDN for my static files. And what's your question? That is the, well, kind of my question. Don't know where to start. I can do the Django part, but I cannot find a way with Cloudflare. I have a free account and I want to use Cloudflare for serving my static files, media files, upload files from my user to the app. Cloudflare is a transparent proxy. Caching typically just works and doesn't involve maybe otherwise set up. I've worked along AWS, S3 static storage. I know how to get along, but could you tell me how to get the same thing? Isn't a storage platform or web platform? It protects proxies existing as instead of S3. You should reread the previous linked article. All right. I mean, worst case scenario, I could always look at using Azure's stuff. Yeah, alright, that's just how it works, but believe it or not, Cloudflare's more than that now. This is January 2020. This should add a DNS record to host. Which cache content do you want to... Yep. So unless you're disabling cache and it's already... Alright. It wasn't helpful. Piece of middleware that lists all the static media. Alright. Because yeah, there was a way where I did actually have it set up where I could collect static files on my computer and actually send it to S3. And hello Lee, how are you? We are confused. Well, I'm confused. So, oh, that's my workers. Sorry, R2. So I've got a CDN on Cloudflare, and I want to automate putting my static files up there. And reading the docs, it's really confusing. It's like, regular API, cool. Installed it, yep. Do you want to deploy your application? No. All right. Application created. So I've got to create an application with code in it to do what I want it to do. I'm very confused. So yeah, let's see what that created. My project, CD into my project. Let's see what's in here. All right, cool. Let's open up that folder. So we want Wrangler test, my project, open. All right, sorry, just stretching. So in here, we've got a Wrangler TOML, which I've got to update some IDs and all that kind of stuff. All that's commented out. Compatibility date is, well, not today. It's worker type script. Async fetch request environment. God, this is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Okay. I don't even know where to start with this, to tell you the truth. No, I don't. Why you might have a constant 100 kilobytes per second traffic incoming on your VPS. You might be getting DDoSed. That's possible. But yeah, sorry, just don't know. Aren't any open connections? Yeah. I'm not the best with network. So I'm trying to think of any tools off the top of my head. Try Wireshark and see what you can get analyzing it. I've only used Wireshark once or twice before. However, that was someone was guiding me through the process. Yeah, we just needed to actually find out what was happening with some of our packages. So yeah, try Wireshark, see what that tells you. as for this, Aiden, whilst you're there, have you had any luck with the API sending files up to R2? Because yeah, I'm confused how this is meant to be set up. When initializing each test suite, use it before all function and unstable to start the unstable dev. The before all function is used to minimize overhead, starting using the S3 API. All right, let's tell you what. Let's open up the S3 API. S3 API capability. R2 implements the S3 API to allow users and their applications to migrate easily when comparing to AWS 3. Use Boto? Yes. All right. Cool. Thank Christ, I can use Boto. Okay. Below, the featured implementation is currently in progress. Refer back to the page for updates. The API is available via the. Ooh. All right. Cool. So I can get that endpoint in Cloudflare dashboard. All right, how to read this page. This page has two sections: bucket level operations and object level operations. I remember messing around in class and did it. Ooh, nice. I might actually be asking you a couple of questions over the next week or two about this, because yeah, I do want to get this automated. This is half an hour every release, and I do kind of want to do, well, I won't be doing another release this month because it ends tomorrow or in a couple of hours, but I do want to get at least another 3 or 4 releases next month. So I'm trying to go for quicker releases. Smaller and quicker. The idea. Get stuff fixed. Okay, getting distracted. Each section will have 2 tables, a table implemented APIs and unimplemented APIs. I refer to the featured columns. All right, cool. So list bucket, create bucket. We don't need a list bucket, head bucket, or create bucket. What's head bucket though? Okay. Delete bucket, get bucket, or anything. Oh. Okay. Delete bucket, bucket cause, bucket, get bucket cause. Alright, so I don't need any of that at the moment. Object level operations, head object, list objects I don't need, list objects v2 don't need. Get objects I don't need. Put objects is what I need. So I'll do that. And then PYPI. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. I'll keep that open. I'm going to close this and I'm going to close this. And then Boto 3, I think it is up to now. Is this the legit version of Boto? Okay, on 23rd, 12th, 13th, support Python 3.n land for Boto 3. This means end of support for the runtime, which will occur for more information in this blog post. Alright, we don't need to worry. Good thing is, I've decided to use 3.11 for the near beach on Docker. For multiple reasons. So, yeah. Okay. Boto. It was named after the freshwater dolphin of Alright, I can't read at the moment. I'm terribly sorry. So, assuming that you have support for the Python installed, you can set up the command. Yep. Yep. Install with source. Alright, cool. So what I'm going to do, cd, I'm going to remove my project. Yes. Sudo exclamation mark. Just type in my password. Piss that off. Should have nothing in here. Just double checking. Yep, great, nothing. Let's do virtual in the VM. It's doing its thing. Source. VM bin activate. And then Python. Oh, I just need pip install Photo 3. Oh yeah, all good, Aiden. Thank you very much. So we're just playing around with Photo 3 now, and then hopefully we can use it to sort of send something to our CDN. Alright, new release of pip is available. Okay, pip. Oops. Install upgrade pip. Cool. Install from source. No, we don't need to do that. So, in our case, we just need to figure out what to do with these and the default region. So I do remember doing this when I was sending the static files to S3. Okay. Let's... So, when using S3 API, the region for the R2 buckets is auto. Alright, cool. For compatibility with tools that do not allow specific reasons, an empty value and US East 1 will alias to auto region. Alright, cool. So, the API is available via this endpoint. Find your account ID in the Cloudflare dashboard. I'm assuming I'll find my secret key and so forth like that in there too. Oh, alright. I see a problem already. Not much of a problem, in a sense that I'm trying to think where I would put this code. So, in a sense, I think I already got AWS credentials in that particular place on this computer. Let's see if that exists. AWS, yeah, I already do. Alright. I mean, I could delete those credentials and put these ones in. Using Boto to connect to R2 Cloud. Someone's probably written an article on this. Get Cloudflare R2 public URL after uploading file using Photo. Getting started with Cloudflare bot solutions. Oh, sorry. I was experimenting with Cloudflare R2 object storage and faced some limits with uploading files that is more than 300 megabytes from the dashboard, which is what I also experienced, except it was 100 files. The prompt suggests that files larger than 300 megabytes can be uploaded using the S3 capability API or workers. So we're using S3 compatibility with that one. I'm using Bojo 3 in Python, and I successfully in performing get objects, but face client error, an error, access denied when calling put objects operation, access denied when put objects. All right. Import Bojo 3. GitHub Actions upload to R2. There's a file, import template. Okay. Now I'm just thinking, all right, where can I do this? So I probably don't want to do that in the Docker file itself. I definitely want to do that in the actions file. All right, that's just that with the actions file. This is now finished. So if I open up this, Docker image.yaml. I'll set everything up, and then once everything's built and pushed, Jesus, what the? Once everything's built and pushed, but how will I get? I would literally just have to set up a project in here, install near beach. Oh, and I'm using a lot of bandwidth. Yeah. It's a doozy, this one. Alright, GitHub Actions, Django, collect static. Okay, let's have a look. Automating Django deployment workflows with GitHub Actions. Alright. Automating deployment workflow with GitHub Actions. If you've worked on a project that has constant changes, tests, and needs to be deployed on to a server every time the change occurs, then you're aware how the process of logging into the server via SSH, redeploying, and testing is quite repetitive and frankly annoying sometimes, which is what we're trying to solve. Luckily, with the advent of GitHub Actions, this can be automated, leading to a happier developer, hopefully, yeah. The purpose of this article is to get you to introduce the concept of GitHub Actions for a typical Django app deployment, but it can easily apply to any other framework. So let's see some GitHub Actions in action. All right, introducing GitHub Actions. According to the official documents, the definition of GitHub Action is the continuous integration and continuous delivery CI/CD platform that allows you to automate, build, test, and deployment pipeline. And just let me read that again. Platform that allows you to automate your build, test, and deployment pipeline. There we go. I think I missed a word. You can create workflows that build and test every pull request to your repository or deploy merge pull request to production. GitHub Action goes beyond just DevOps and lets you run workflows when other events happen in your repository. GitHub provides Linux, Windows, Mac OS virtual machines to run your workflows, or so you can host your own self-hosted runners in your own data center or cloud infrastructure. What this basically means is that they provide a CI/CD all in one platform. Yep, cool. Key terms and concepts. Workflow is a configurable automated process that will run one or more jobs. Workflows are defined in YAML file in your repository and will run when triggered by an event in your repository. Yep, so we've got 2 workflows in my repository. Events. What triggers it? Jobs. A job is a set of steps that executes your work. Yep. Actions. An action is a custom application for GitHub Actions platform that performs a complex but frequently repeated task. Actions help reduce the amount of repetitive code that you write in your workflow file. An action can pull your Git repository from GitHub, set up the correct tool chain for your build environment, or set up the authentication to your cloud provider. Get runners is a server that runs your workflow when they're triggered. Yep, cool. Secrets, yep. What you need for this config. Before we set up our workflow, you'll need a couple of things: a GitHub repository, Nectos Act package. It's always advisable that you test your actions locally before pushing them to GitHub. Ooh. Overview. Run GitHub Actions locally. Have I seen this before? How does it work? When you run act, it reads GitHub Actions and determines the set of actions needs to be run. It uses Docker API to either, yep, all right, sweet. This is getting installed. Installation. Depends on Docker to run workflows. If you're using macOS, please be sure to find that. Yep, desktop for Mac. Yep, if you're using Windows, if you're using Linux. Yep, all right, cool. Brew, install, act. All right. Sorry, I am going to be installing this. Cool. A virtual private server where we'll be deploying our application. I recommend using DigitalOcean. They provide, yeah, all right. Don't need to worry about that because even if we do it locally and deploy our stuff to R2, that's perfectly fine. We can do a test sort of thing with the secrets. That's not going to be a problem. Setting our first workflow. For this tutorial, we need to first understand what objective is before we write the workflows. We want the workflow to run our test every time a pull request is made to the main branch, deploy to the server every time a push is made. So what we want is GitHub Actions to collect the static files and put them on R2. So, running tests. In our sort of case, we've got we already use Circle CI for testing and stuff like that. That's already done. And we don't need to change that at all. That's set and forget. And that will email me when there's a commit that screws up things. All right. So we're not too worried about that. We're actually worried about getting our static files out. So on the repo, switch to a new branch. In my case, I have workflows branch, yada, yada, yada. All right, cool. So Django test on. Cool. Now sort of case, we don't need to worry about parallelization. Matrix Python versions, we will, oh, this is neat. Set users, check out, name, this fixes local act bug of Python setup. All right, cool. Hack to get the setup Python to work. If then name setup Python. Users acted with Python version, matrix version, name, install dependencies, run, Python pip install upgrade. So we'll be doing a similar thing then, but for Nearbeach. So we wanted to install Nearbeach. So yeah, all right. Now one thing, where's my code? Gonna yoink that code over there. All right. So we're running on Ubuntu latest, runs on Ubuntu. Strategy, max parallels, matrix Python versions. We don't have a strategy. But for us, we're not too worried about the Python versions. We're happy with it just being using 3.11 for the moment. So the steps. So we've already got steps. So this will be at the very end. This will be a new thing. Yeah, GitHub Actions. I'm just wondering if we can have two step nodes. I'm guessing yes, because sometimes you might want to run steps in parallel, sometimes not. So yeah, anyway. So this uses actions checkout. Docker, all right, cool. So we're using something different. Then that's just doing the act stuff, getting that up and running. That's fine. And then set up Python. All right, so action set up Python version 2. So in this case, we probably want that. And then we want to run that. And then name, instead of run tests, we'll have the collect static. But we need to tell it collect static. No, it sucks. Come here. Yes. Now, with the collect static and stuff like that, what we could actually potentially do is once it's installed, we can make a simple setup file, which contains a template, which we can feed it. Yeah, I'm just having a good think at the moment. So we got some things. Well, that was an interesting call. Just because I write code and make computer do stuff doesn't mean I work with Windows Server. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, my family has given up asking me about Windows computers because I'm like, I just don't use them. I haven't used them in so long that the only thing I use on a Windows computer is Visual Code. Visual Studio, sorry. And that's it. Everything else, if Windows goes wrong, I haven't used it in so long. At a system level, it's not funny. So, I like, sorry, just, it's not my, yeah. Gaming, and I said, oh yeah, I do use it for gaming sometimes too. Not as much because I got a Switch and PlayStation 5 and game modding. I haven't really gotten into game modding, to tell you the truth. Yeah, just, I never had the internet growing up, so I never got into multi-online stuff like my friends did. And when I did get internet, it was dial-up for ages. And then where I was living, the internet was quite slow. Terrible is a good word. Never up to speed. All right. Oh, MV files. What am I'm dozing off. I can use these to pass through where I want to send my, yeah, I could use these to send through what I need. That will work. All right. And then Python manage test scores. Yep. And in this sort of case, we'll collect static. So if I send through the secret keys for, let's say the Cloudflare and stuff. Yeah, we had dial up. Yeah, it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Because half a megabyte took so long to download. And nowadays, web pages are how many megabytes? I think Jira, when I did a hard refresh, was something like 17 megabytes. And I was just like, Jesus. All right, thinking. All right, so I can use the environment variables to send stuff down. I've just got to set that up so that NeoBeach will accept that now. Oh, all right. So this is turning into one of those things where I gotta fix that other bug, don't I? Or yeah, stuff, and it forced my dad to get faster internet. Yeah, good plan. It worked. As long as you didn't get into much trouble. Fun fact, when I finally moved out of home, so I was 23, because I finally actually got a job where I could earn enough money to move out of home. I was still at university, still studying. And then what I did was, well, I moved into a place where it had faster internet than my parents did. And it was amazing. Because it was only like 100 or something meters from the exchange. So the drop off wasn't as much as what it was where I grew up. Nobody knows it was me who broke the internet. Alright, so thinking about this, I think this script will potentially can be modified to work. I've just got to be like, how can I feed in these variables so it will work? Though I managed to talk my dad into getting fiber. Nice. Yeah, I've got fibre to the curb. So it's not too far for me this weekend. So even faster internet. Oh, nice. What's your speed? If you don't mind me asking. Because mine at the moment is 50 megabits. So it's not so fast, but I'm not paying for the most expensive internet at the moment. All right. So we know what we want to do there and stuff like that. So, oh, all right. Another thing. I want the near beach code. I could potentially do this on the near beach code. I don't have any actions set up. Doing speed, I think. Fiber coming next month. Oh, okay. It'll be interesting to see what speed you're getting. Because here, let's say, TPG. Also, this is but one of them. So a lot of the times you got the NBN sort of stuff. All right, let's key in their example address. All right, a lot faster than me. Faster than me. At the moment, I've got this equivalent, but I'm not with TPG. However, if I were, ooh. All right, socks. Come on, sweetie. You're just moving around. Please ignore the big number. It's actually the small number underneath. It's $125 a month for 210 megabits per second. Otherwise, it's about 145 for 450 megabits per second. And why we've got weird sort of download speeds is because they actually have to use the average, not the max speed. On my wireless on my MacBook. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yep. Socks, calm down. There you go. You're on stream. The reason I got my dad to get the fiber was because BT was offering it for free. Oh, nice. Neat. Yeah, if I had the money per month, sure, that would be lovely. See, the uploads I would want. I mean, 21 megabits per second uploads is good. I wouldn't be able to. I mean, the 17. It's yeah. All right. So I reckon this could potentially work, and where it would work is on the repository itself. Because I've got the settings file already set up here. And I've already got this in here. And all I need to do is set this up so that if there is a variable in here, then I'll use my credentials to log in and stuff like that. I reckon that would be the best solution. It also means I get to set this up locally first, test it out locally, and then slowly put that automation in. Yeah, I need to talk my dad into getting the Max Fiber plan at some point. Remember, you will reach a bottleneck at one point. Where, sure, you have the fastest internet possible, but well, games. games will take down the download, but your computer will have to actually match that speed. There will be a bottleneck at one point where you're like, I just can't get it any faster. People are like, you're downloading? And like, I'm downloading as much as I can. But we're still watching Netflix. Because it's super slow when my 6-year-old cousin plays games and my uncle and aunt. Yeah. I know the feeling. My computer can handle 2.5 gigabytes. So I'm fine for now. Nice. I don't think mine can. Mine definitely can't. Alright, so I'm going to update this with what we've found tonight. And we're going to play around just a little bit more. So I'm just copying this. And I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to yank this down. With the above code, it has a script that runs tests. We won't be running the tests, but deploying the static files. What we could potentially do is use this same script inside the near beach code and run it when there is a deployment, a release. Smiley face. I think the release is the safest one because that's set in stone. And then Nocturnal and I had a look at seeing if another repository can trigger a current repository. If I can actually get that, so if a release happens, it will trigger it. And then that way, all I need to do is just make sure that I update the release. And I already do this because it's documented. So when I push to PYPI, I make sure I update the release version numbers within inside Nearbeach. And that should still be a somewhat manual task because it's just code. Yes. All right. So, getting back to this, with the above code, it has a script that runs tests. We won't be running the tests, but deploying the static files. What we could potentially do with this same script is now GitHub actions triggers. We're hoping there's a release trigger. So, we're just going events that trigger workflow. All right. Check run, deployment, release. All right, sweet. So we need release published. Just going back to that, I don't know. All right, release. Types published. All right, that's exactly what we want. So we're going to copy this. We're going to paste it into here. For example, we get to use our little code. Hey, new functionality in Nearbeach. Oh, it's been in there for a couple of releases, but hey. Oh, don't say it's broken. Ooh, tiny mouse. What's going wrong? All right, bit disappointed. I wanted to paste this code in. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh no, chat's now gonna... Alright. Alright, so, for example, what we could potentially do is do the same as script inside init. Then all we need to do is to pass down the environment variables for the... I'm going to have to actually... Then all we need to do is pass through the environment variables for the R2 bucket, which will be kept in the GitHub secrets. Best thing about this plan of attack, we can test it locally first before deploying our code. All right, so adding that note. So we've got act. Sort of actions on here, which would be great. But we've also got, we know how to edit this. And I think the only problem is the admin files won't be included. Actually, do I lie? Minimize everything. Local, init, tests. Why do we have that in there? Now I'm really confused. Oh no, that's... Oh. Space. Here, I thought that was all one file, folder structure. Alright. I'm still thinking that. Alright, so settings. Now this is private, that's fine. Init settings. And the problem is, do we have a URLs here? No. Yep, all good, all good. We do have static files deployment here. The following script will automate, there we go. This is to Cloudflare R2. Wait a minute. When was this put in? Have I just spent a whole stream literally trying to figure stuff out when it's already been figured out and someone's put... $9 months ago? Holy hell, someone actually already did this. Thank you very much, Adesh. Alright, I did not realize that this is in there. So, import near beach, argpass, Bodo3, need to install through pip. Easy done. Argument parser, parser, argument parser, parser. parser, add argument, account ID, help the account ID for R2. All right, current version near beach under version. All right, sweet. And then endpoint, and then we've just got to get the Cloudflare IDs, this and this. And then print the buckets. Print the objects. So that's getting all the upload the files, open test JPEG. Oh, wow. All right. Thank you. Okay. That's definitely going to help too. Okay. I am... If I knew that at the start of the stream, it would have... Yeah, all right. Not a problem. But this gives us a good sort of framework to bounce off now. Now, we'll probably still need Boto 3 for the collection of the static files. Yeah. All right. Going through this. I'm probably going to call it soon just because my brain's starting to switch off. So what I want to do whilst I'm still remembering stuff. Yeah, I know about that failed worker. Yeah, this one. Okay, I'm gonna have to do something funky to get the ARM stuff to work. Okay, so. Sorry, I am fading very quickly. I've absolutely forgot what I wanted to do here. No, it wasn't this one. It was actually this one I wanted. Maybe not that one. Maybe it is this file. And hey, how goes the job hunt? Hopefully it goes good. Fingers crossed. It's going good. Okay, so this is the Docker file. No, I want the base. I've absolutely forgotten what I was going to do. Sorry. Nothing new yet, but not making me stuff at all. Oh, that's good. Making me do more and more and more. Well, good luck. Hopefully you get something quickly. It's not fun when you can't find anything. But yeah, I do hope you get something very quickly. Or soon. Alright, I've absolutely forgotten what I was doing. Holy hell. Sorry, I'm just absolutely tired. So I was trying to automate stuff. I was thinking how to... Oh, I was going to look at the settings file. So Ocean Suite, settings. And see how I actually set it up in here. So in here... We've got that. All right, we need something similar to this, but for our static files. I know once I wouldn't be just looking at remoting it would make a difference. I think that's what is making it harder, is I'm only doing remote. Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, that's fair enough. If you can do a job anywhere, I've done my job in my CEO's car as he's driving me to work. It's possible to do our job anywhere. All right. So what we need to do is something similar to this. All right. So I'm just trying to work things out at the moment. My brain is probably going to only give me 10 more minutes of this stream. So what I need in settings, the local settings in here, because there should be a manage. Yep, there is a manage. There isn't any URLs in here because it uses NearBeach's URLs. Could I hijack that and have my own URLs? That uses NearBeach's URLs. For the local stuff. One way to find out. Alright. Vim, PyCharm, untitled URLs. I just need this. Need local, I need new file, I need urls.py. Paste that in, I'm going to hit save. Don't know if I need that. Yeah, I don't know if I need that. All right, not a problem. What we'll do is we'll source PyCharm untitled vim activate, and then what I'm doing, Python 3 manage run server. The syntax warning is not literal. All right, yeah, that's fine. So what we're looking for is admin. No, it didn't work. All right, no problem. Worth a test. Yeah, so the admin files won't be included in the static. That's the only problem with this way. And I kinda... yeah, I kinda want to include them. Yeah. So I'll put that down as a note. Okay, current issue, how to include admin files, admin static files. Currently, we are only getting the NearBeach static files. Okay, just wait. Before Django, click static admin. What? Wonder if it's a command. Because what I'll do is over here, exit this. If I do Python 3 manage collect static, creates a static folder down here. Oh, it does collect the admin in there. All right, not a problem then. Screw it. That's fine. I just don't have the admin URL, but that's not a problem on the local. There's not a problem at all. Okay. I'm thinking it's a problem when it's not a problem. Just gonna clear that. Okay, close. I should move this in deployment. So, yeah, we can potentially just start building this automation file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect all of this. We've got to name it workflow GitHub workflows. All right, so we got a code QL analysis. That's fine, that's working. That's set and forget. What we want here is we want let static files YAML. All right, and we're going to paste that in. I'm going to be right back. I just need some more water. Lock her out. All right. She's actually sleeping in her cafe right next to me. All right, I'm back. So, we want to get rid of that and go latest. Max parallelization, just one. I'm just going to keep this the same code at the moment. So steps, users, actions, checkout version 2. All right, this just fixes that bug. Hack to get, yep. All right, cool. So we're happy with keeping that in at the moment. Set up Python version, yep. With Python version. Oh, socks. Sorry, sweetie. All right. Install dependencies. Python install upgrade pip install requirements. Yep. It's going to be this requirement file down here. Run tests. In this sort of case, we're going to run the tests just to make sure this works. Actually, we won't need any of these environment variables. That's not going to be a problem. Oh, socks. What? She's just like pacing. It's in bed. No one's giving you treats. Yes, I know. You can sulk over there. All right, I think let's test this out. So with this one, how do we get it to run? We're install. We've done the install. There you go. All right. Yep. Oop, ah. There you go, sweetie. In your bed. In your bed. Don't stare at the light. In your bed. Okay, I'll get that a bit closer. Are you hopping in your bed? No, in your bed. Good girl. In your bed. Have you not eaten today? I do feed her. She's got lots of cat food. She just loves treats. I want you going to stay in your bed. Alright. That. But she does know the instant I touch my camera, something's happening. Say her. What? Treats. Oh, are you going in your bed now? No. Now you go in your bed. Calm down. There we go. Alright. You can try and sit on my keyboard. Alright, let's see how we can run this. So, other options. Example commands. At. This is all actions. At. Alright. Let's just do at. So CD, sites, near beach, at. Alright. Oh, you're using an Avalanche series chip and you have not specified container arch architecture. You might encounter issues if you try running it. Oh, don't you want that? Thank you. Thank you. Socks is just pacing. Alright. Cannot connect to Docker. Oh, I just don't have Docker running. That's an easy fix. Now she goes back to her bed. Alright. Oh. Sorry, this is open something else up. Oh, it's running the code analyzer and the Django test CLI. Alright. I should have told it just to do the collect static files. I really should rename this straight off the bat. So this would be collect. How did we name this before? Collect static files. All right. On push, upgrade main. Yep, you've been to the latest. All right, happy with that. How's this going? I'm just going to cancel this. I'm going to see if there's any run a specific event. Yep. Act collect static files. Alright. Pull request. Act release. That's the problem. These are... We need to change these automatically. So what we want to do is, because I've got that code over here, I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to paste it. Alright, I'm going to hit save. What is it doing? Collect static files and tests, starts, Docker, collect. Okay, it's not giving me any information. but that should be fine for the moment. And then what we want to do is we want to pass through our secrets. And then that should work perfectly fine. Yes. Alright. So whilst that's doing that, let's go into our settings. Let's scroll down to down here. So these are the static files. And we want to do something similar to okay, give me 2 seconds, Django. Collect static files onto S3 bucket. Accept cookies. So we kind of want to do something like this, where we've got the access keys, the bucket name, so forth like that. And this is a very long long thing. Oh, is this an answer how? However, I'm not. Okay. Anyway, I am probably gonna call it there. I am gonna copy it. Actually, no, they haven't got an answer. So, doesn't matter. Let's find someone to raid. Ooh, holy hell. Oh. And thank you, VueJs, for the follow. I just realized my Mac is on 10% power. Oh god. Alright. Just like me. I don't know why it's not charging. It's plugged in.